My name is Acacia Honstein. I'm 22 years old. I live in Pikeville, Kentucky. If I was to change one thing about myself, it would be my self-esteem. I have always had really low self-esteem. I never felt like any of the other girls. I never felt accepted. I never felt pretty or smart or, that I fit in. I never really had any friends. And I think that always played a really big impact in my life. I never felt smart. I never felt good enough. For me, I don't know if there ever was a good enough. I was never good enough for what I thought that the other people were. I never felt like I could compare or compete with any of the other kids. That's just, that was something that I never even thought that you could feel like. I just didn't think that was, thought that maybe everyone felt really down on themselves all the time, until I realized that I just have really low self-esteem. So if I was to change anything, it would be my self-esteem. And I think that a lot of that has, something to do with the way that I grew up. I was raised by a single alcoholic mother who, was working all the time. So I was constantly, from the age of 13, maybe even younger, I was, a parental role for my younger brother. My mother worked all the time, and I was constantly, getting him ready for school, taking him to and from school, cooking dinners, cleaning the house, as well as doing my own homework and doing, his homework with him, and, making sure that everything was to get done. And that has always, I feel like, kind of played a role in my low self-esteem, was because I wasn't able to be like all the other girls. Most of those other girls weren't put in positions like that. They weren't put in the same kind of role that I was put in, and that definitely kind of that made me distant from all the other girls. Not even the other girls, but the other guys too. I couldn't fit in. I had so much other responsibility that I had to do, that these people they had no idea about. I come from a long line of alcoholics. My mother, my aunts, uncles, grandparents, possibly even great-grandparents, my cousins, you name it. And there's a really good chance that in my family they were an alcoholic. There's nothing that can be done about it. All I know is that that's not how I wanted to live my life, and I made sure of that. When I graduate college next year, I'm going to be the first person to graduate college in my family, which is, really exciting for me. No one else did that because they were always too busy drinking. If it wasn't for my sister, I don't even think that I would have known that college was, a possibility. I never thought that was something that, poor people could do. I didn't realize poor people could go to college too. Until my sister, she made me realize that, everyone can succeed. Everyone deserves a chance, and that I am smart and competent and beautiful. And so it wasn't really until I moved away to college and got to experience life away from my alcoholic family that I was able to realize, oh, you know what? You really are good at stuff. You can be happy. You deserve to be happy. You can live your own life and do the things that you want to do. And honestly, at first, because my self-esteem and Like, it was just so low that I had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't know what makes me happy or anything like that. I just kind of, I had just kind of flown through life, just taking care of my brother and cleaning house and trying to do homework and trying to impress my mother. I used to try to get straight A's just so that I would be noticed. But, that's not the reason you should get straight A's. The reason you should get straight A's is because you want to, which that's what I do now. I try so hard at everything that I do. I go to school, more than full time. I work 20 hours a week. I'm in the choir. I'm on the bowling team. I give life my all, which is not something that I used to do. Or, even anything that I realized should be done. But that's what happens when you are raised by alcoholics, because alcoholics don't have life goals, and the life goals that they do have, they're not reaching for them. They don't know how to achieve them. It's just something that is in the back of their mind, and maybe that'll be cool someday. And I think that because I was raised by alcoholics, that that's kind of how my mindset was too, is that, yeah, these things would be nice to be able to accomplish, but they weren't really accomplishable. Like, that's how I was raised. But, like, knowing now, realizing it really is accomplishable. You can do anything that you want, despite your background or your upbringing. Like, I was able to change my life because of myself. Moving away to college really made a big impact in my life. I had decided that I didn't want to be a negative person anymore. I wasn't going to continue to live in the shadows of letting life pass me by. And that's what alcoholics do. I was, because I had been raised by alcoholics, I had kind of been trapped into this mold, I feel like, where, like, yeah, I wanted to do these things, but I didn't think that there was ever even a chance that I could do them. I had these dreams and I can't even call them goals. They were just dreams. I didn't think that they were ever achievable. They were just out there as something that I thought might be cool someday that I could do, but that I probably never would. I had to change my outlook on life. I had to turn from a negative person to a positive person, and that wasn't an easy change. Changing your life is not something that can happen overnight. It's not something that you can even, it's hard to do it by yourself. Having some support, having someone there with you to tell you that you can do it is one of the most important things, and I think that is exactly what life change is about, and why we need someone, and why we need, other people and a support system to change our lives, is because we can't always do it on our own. We need help, we need support, we need a network of people and family, and that's not something I had, and that's not something that a lot of people had. I didn't realize it until recently, that everyone struggles, everyone has hard times, and I don't know, it's life, some people really need a life change, and I know that I did. I really needed to change my life. I still need to change my life. There is so much more that I can do to become a better person and to increase my, my awareness and my surroundings. And, I have always loved children, so I've known that whatever I do in life needs to be with children. I want to change my life and change my outlook and change, future generations. I want to be a teacher because I can help influence these students, and so that, no matter what situation that they have been brought up in, that they know that they're not alone, that they can achieve anything and everything they set their mind to, and that they have someone to support them and back them up. So I just think that life change is a really wonderful thing, and I wish that, I hope that I can be one of those candidates. Okay, that sounds really stupid. Cut that out. So, yeah. That's why I want a life change, is so that I can not only change my life. I want a life change so that I can not only change my life, but I can change the lives of the future generations that are being brought up in the world today that don't have anyone, who doesn't have anyone to support them, who doesn't think that they can succeed in life, or, whatever it is. I want to have my life changed so that I can change their lives, and that they won't ever be put in the same situation or feel the same way that I have growing up, because no one deserves to feel like that. No one deserves to struggle like that, and everyone deserves a chance.